Let me double, triple check because it's.
Two, one.
Good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, September the 10th, 2024. Community Development Committee. I do call it to order. We currently have in chamber is myself, Councilman Tyrone Johnson. We do have Councilman Tim Andrew, Councilwoman Amanda Cook, and Councilwoman Vicky McKeever. We'll go ahead and start with the first item, which is 2024-357, the consideration of a resolution conveying the real property to a nonprofit corporation. And we do have Miss Nina Wilson, our Director of Community Development, will be coming to bring this to us.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. You have before you conveyance of property for affordable housing development. To continue infill housing development efforts in the core city, staff seeks council approval to convey the following lots to Community Housing Solutions of Guilford, or CHS, in the Southside community: 702 Vale, 704, 708, and 712, all Vale Avenue. And the conveyance will facilitate affordable housing in accordance with HUD regulations and serve a public purpose. CHS has completed the Cedro Affordable Housing Project. If you've had an opportunity to ride over there, all 19 of those units are complete, so hopefully you've been able to see those. And so they're getting ready to return to Southside to continue building in that community. The 4 units proposed for these properties will be conveyed, the 4 units proposed for the properties to be conveyed will be funded with proceeds from home sales in the Cedro community. So no additional funding from the city will be needed for the construction of these units. So there is no budget impact. And the Community Development and Housing Department recommends approval of the resolution conveying the property to CHS, and that the appropriate city official and/or employee be authorized to execute all necessary documents.
Great. Thank you so much, and we'd love to hear no budget impact, definitely. And so I will open the floor now if we have any questions in regards to this.
Yeah, Councilman Andrews, so just for the audience, the city owns the property, we are transferring the real property to them, they're gonna build affordable homes, essentially?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions? All right. That sounds good. And we do need to take this up for a vote? All right. Would someone like to, God, I forgot how to do it. Make a motion.
I will move that we pass the resolution conveying 702, 704, 708, and 712 Vale Avenue properties, and authorize the appropriate city officials to execute all necessary documents.
I would like to second that.
Thank you. It's been properly moved in second that we will push this forward to the full council. By signs of?
Yeah.
It's now time to vote. By signs of aye?
Aye.
Any nays? All right, thank you. All right, we'll move on to the next one, 2024-362. Consideration of a resolution conveying real property to a nonprofit corporation, and this is in regards to properties located at 608 and 611 Cross Street. Thank you.
Yes, again, to continue the infill development in the Southside community, we are requesting approval to convey the following lots to Black Lamb Development Corporation in the Southside community, that's 608 and 611 Cross Street. The conveyance will facilitate affordable housing in accordance with HUD regulations and serve a public purpose. Since being designated a community housing development organization, or a CHODO, with the City of High Point, this will be Black Lamb's first project. Construction is anticipated to begin in the fall. We are seeking approval of the resolution conveying the property to Black Lamb, and that the appropriate city official and/or employee be authorized to execute all necessary documents.
Thank you. And Councilman Johnson here, when did you say they were going to start building if this goes through?
I'm thinking that they should be able to get started within the late October timeframe. Right now, we do have the house plans, we have the budget, and their contract is in draft form. And so we are just having to kind of finalize those things.
All right, great. All right, any?
Yeah, excuse me. I just thought of something. When you said we have the budget, we're transferring the real property to them. Obviously, they need funds to buy materials and et cetera. So is that budget coming from community funds? Okay.
What they provide to me is a development budget, and so that's the total cost for each unit. And for this particular project, we will only provide about 20% of the financing. The rest will come from a construction loan. And so for their properties, we're looking at doing about $40,000 per unit, and that will fall under the $90,000 threshold, so that contract won't actually come back to full council. So this is just for the conveyance, and their contract with us would be will be $80,000.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, we'll move to a vote for it. And we'll
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to adopt 2024 TAC 362, conveying property at 608 and 611 Cross Street and authorizing the city to execute all documents.
Second.
Great. It's been properly moved in second that we will proceed forward with this by signs of aye. I'm sorry.
Yes.
By signs of aye.
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 Any nays? Nays, I mean, the ayes have it. We'll press forward. What were you trying to say? I'm so sorry. Okay. All right, because I was looking down at this when I was doing it. I'm sorry. All right, so we'll move on to 2024-363, consideration of resolution conveying the real property to a nonprofit corporation. And this is in regards to the property located at 810 Mobile Street. Ms. Nina.
Thank you. Using Home Investment Partnership Program funds, or HOME funds, the city can build newly constructed homes for sale to income-eligible home buyers. We currently have one unoccupied unit that was originally occupied under a lease purchase agreement. However, the tenant ultimately was unable to purchase the home. So staff proposes to convey the property located at 810 Mobile Street to Housing Consultants Group to market and sell the unit, providing a homeownership opportunity for an income-eligible household. Conveyance of the property to HCG for sale as affordable housing to income-eligible homebuyers constitutes a public purpose. HCG is a multifaceted nonprofit that Community Development and Housing has contracted with to provide real estate services, housing counseling, homebuyer education, and the development of single-family affordable housing. Upon sale of the property, the city will allow HCG to retain the sales proceeds to be used for additional affordable housing development in the Southside community. And based on a comparative market analysis performed by HCG, the sales price range will be anywhere between $172,500 to $239,900. There is no budget impact, and staff requests council authorize conveyance of the above referenced property to Housing Consultants Group for the purpose of selling the housing unit at a negotiated price to an income-eligible household, and that the appropriate city official and/or employee be authorized to execute all necessary documents.
Great, thank you. Will we have any questions?
Yes. So the city owned the land. We transferred it to the builder. The builder bought the property. They found someone to occupy it. That person's whatever fell through. So right now, the city owns the building.
We do. Yes, this particular unit was built, I want to say, it was 2012, and at that time, the city was working with a... 2012, it's been a while, yes. And the city was working with a different nonprofit at that time, and they were serving as the CHOTO. And when the building was initially going on or started in Southside, we were doing a lease purchase program, but we've since moved away from that. We have found that it has not been as successful as we had hoped. And based on home regulations, just because the person doesn't purchase the property, we cannot put them out. We can't evict them, we can't do anything like that. But the person that was occupying this property, they left of their own accord. We did not evict them. One day we went and they were gone. We were in the process of trying to do an income recertification for them, and so our staff was trying to get up with them, and she went out one day and the unit was vacant. So they didn't give us, any notice, nothing. And so at this point, we want to convert this to a home buyer unit and no longer rental.
Okay. With that story, what's the state of the property when it was left? Or did we have to fix anything? Or?
It was, we had to replace the carpet. The carpet was
that's
the most
normal.
expensive thing, but we spent about $8,000 on repairs.
Okay.
Any other questions? Great. Well, I'd like to make a motion to approve 2024-363, if I can get a second. And properly moved and second that we will proceed with this moving forward. If we can get a vote by sign of aye.
I'll vote aye.
Any nays? Great, we'll move this forward. And the next one, and the last one, is 2024-364. Consideration of a resolution conveying the real property to a nonprofit corporation, and those properties are 808 and 813, is it Tryon Avenue? And of course, Ms. Nina Wilson will do this one as well.
Thank you. Again, to continue our homebuyer initiatives and revitalization of the Southside community, staff is requesting council approval to convey the following lots to Habitat for Humanity of High Point, Archdale, and Trinity in the Southside community, and that's 808 and 813 Tryon Avenue. The conveyance will facilitate affordable housing in accordance with HUD regulations and serve a public purpose. Habitat currently has 3 units under construction in the Southside community and 3 units that have been completed and occupied by new homeowners. This conveyance will provide 2 additional lots to continue their development in this area, and construction is anticipated to begin in the fall. And I do know that she wants to drop those footings before it turns cold, so we are looking again at that October timeframe. Okay. And the Community Development and Housing Department recommends approval of the resolution conveying the property to Habitat, and that the appropriate city official and/or employee be authorized to execute all necessary documents.
Great. Any questions or comments? Great. Well, I would like to make a motion that we do approve 2024-364. If I could get a second, please.
Second.
All right. So I'd like to take it a vote by sign of aye if we want to move forward.
I'll vote aye.
Perfect. Any nays? All right, we'll move forward with that as well. And I believe that is all I have down. Does anyone else have any comments or?
I do have one comment. May we be made aware of the sales price of 810 Mobile when it does sell?
Okay, perfect. Because it could come in between 172 and 259, is that right?
239.
239, okay. All right. Good thing, Councilman Andrew. All right, well, that is all we have, so you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Short and sweet, like it.
Short and sweet.